women, I celebrate you. You know, keep doing what you know how to do, lifting your head high. And I know with what is going on in the Senate, you say, why am I not taking a position? I believe that Senate is doing what is needful, because that's what it is. It's an inside place and it's a matured chambers. We shouldn't be hearing things like that. It's a matured chamber and it should be treated with respect. It's an honor for you to be in that place alone. I was there for 12 years.
Hello, great people. Please don't go yet. Let us dissect what the First Lady, Remi Tinubu, have said. What I can tell you first for free is that Remi Tinubu is the true wife of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You remember the saying that birds of the same feather flock together. Why did I say so? You will recall that when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was being inaugurated as president of Nigeria, he said in his speech that he is going to consult. He's not going to take any action without consulting. And immediately there, right there, despite the fact that he has not been president before, he has not occupied that office up to 10 minutes, he immediately took a decision that shook the whole of Nigeria, which is fuel subsidy gone. Now, in context to Remi Tinubu, if you listen to her statement, she is in one breath praising women, saying that, women should keep it up, they should keep achieving great things. And in another breath, just instantly there, she is indirectly attacking another woman. She is indirectly judging another woman. She is indirectly labeling another woman, using words like, matured and all that, So you can see that birds of the same feather flock together. So Remi is the true wife of Bola in the true sense of it, because if you look at it, they are aligned. And can two walk except they agree, just as the Bible says? So this is one proof. If you have been wondering why Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been able to stay long with Remi Tinubu, this is one of the reasons that I've highlighted to you. But I can tell you for one thing that the First Lady's statement, with profound respect to her, mommy, your statement is undiplomatic, in the sense that, you see, when things like this happen, you should not appear to take side, especially if you cannot beat your chest that this is the side that is right or this is the side that is wrong. And also, you are a woman. You are supposed to feel the pain more. You are supposed to kind of like know what Natasha could have been passing through the more. So if you cannot support her, why not just be diplomatic? In the sense that, okay, I urge Nigerians to be peaceful, for everything to go on fine and all that. That could have been a very diplomatic statement on the part of the First Lady. That would have been a very phenomenal, a very great statement. But for the First Lady to now come up and start, indirectly, you making political statement, which invariably cast aspersion and judgment on Natasha Akpoti, that leaves much to be desired on the part of the First Lady. And she said women are doing phenomenal things. That women are doing phenomenal things. Okay, I agree. Women are doing phenomenal things, but how many women are doing phenomenal things? In this same Nigeria, there are some states that women cannot become the governor of a state. There are some states that women cannot own properties. There are some states in this Nigeria that women cannot inherit their father's property just because they are a woman. So a lot of women are being discriminated against. So it now begs the question that what is the First Lady, Remi Tinubu, doing in that regard in terms of bridging the gap, the wide gap, if I may say, between man and woman in Nigeria? So women are doing phenomenal things, of course. The woman at the United Nations, Mohammed, that lady, then the head of WTO, Okonjo-Iweala. We have a lot of great ladies. We've had some that are late, Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, Dora Akinyuli. We've had great ladies, but the truth is, how many of them, when we compare the ratio and percentage of the women we have in Nigeria compared to the women that are making giant strides, when you now compare it to those that are raped, to those that are languishing in anguish, to those that are suffering from domestic violence and other social vices, you will see that Nigeria is truly not making the right progress. Now, let us even go back to the Senate. Natasha, as she is one of the 4 in 109. There are 4 women at the Senate out of 109 senators. So Natasha is one of the 4 in 109. So imagine, just, put pen to paper and do the percentage calculation. 1 out of 4, 1 of the 4 in 109. So that is an abysmal low, an abysmal failure. It points to the greed of the political parties, which fortunately her husband is one of the leaders of the APC, despite the fact that he wasn't president the last time, but now he's the president. So we will judge him by how many positions we go to ladies in 2027. And we don't want elective, we don't want appointed position. We want elective position for ladies. And why would the first lady not call for investigation? Wouldn't it have been okay? Wouldn't it have been glad if the first lady called for investigation, not about what happened on the floor of the Senate, but going further to call for investigation as regards what didn't happen on the floor of the Senate? You know, two things happened. The one that happened on the floor of the Senate, the one that happened outside the floor of the Senate. The one that happened on the floor of the Senate is what the Senate treated and used to suspend Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, which is a conduct on the floor of the Nigerian Senate. But then, how about the second part, which is what did not happen? What did not happen on the floor of the Senate, which is the alleged sexual harassment against the person of the Senate president, the number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So how long do we want to continue like this? And because we are dissecting the statement of the First Lady, I must say that if we have a president that he has some questions to his name, to his background, to his qualification, to his lifestyle in the past, and we now have a Senate president, the number 3 man, that is embroiled in sexual harassment, character flaws and all that, where does that leave Nigeria as a country? The one that we are battling with, the reputation of Nigeria is at the lowest low already. We cannot afford further disrepute, and that is why I would have been happy if the First Lady called for investigation of what did not happen on the floor of the Senate. So she is saying the Senate is doing what it should do based on what happened on the floor of the Senate. But then, she is the First Lady of Nigeria, and her jurisdiction right now as the First Lady is the total territory of Nigeria. And any matter that happens to Nigerians, whether in Nigeria or in the diaspora, is of utmost concern to her as the First Lady. And you can safely call her the mother of the nation. And for that instance, she should have called for an investigation, at least into the sexual harassment allegation. At least it's an investigation. You are not passing judgment on Akpoti. You are not passing judgment on Akpabio. That is a way to be diplomatic. Now, she said the Senate is a mature chamber. Okay, I think in that regard, she's referring to Natasha Akpoti's conduct while she was shouting that, okay, I'm not afraid of you, or a general conduct. I think that's what she was referring to there by saying the Senate is a mature chamber. But then, Madam First Lady, with profound respect to you, man, you too shout on the floor of the Senate. When Dino Melaye had issues with you, and there was this back and forth between you and Dino Melaye, you two shouted on that particular floor of the Senate. You two express yourself when you were angry, when you feel that your rights, your privilege was being trampled upon. You express yourself. Now you are the First Lady. Another lady has found herself into the Senate despite the rigorous process of being a senator in Nigeria, especially if you are a female. Now you are now condemning that lady that the Senate is a mature chamber. If you have not shouted on the floor of the Senate before, if the altercation between you and Dino Melaye had not happened, then people would not have something to judge you with. But you too, you shouted at the floor of the Senate. And one thing I can say on the final note is that I would love a situation whereby, as the First Lady of Nigeria, in a country where women are being largely deprived of their rights, I would love if the women would be at peace with the First Lady's presence, action, and utterances. 3 things. If women would be at peace with our utterances, our actions, and our presence. So with what she said, most women, will not be quite happy with such utterances because women are facing a lot of issues in Nigeria every day. So this is a wake-up call on the First Lady. 1, to be more diplomatic. 2, to be more gender-friendly. 3, to increase her advocacy for women, because if she doesn't do it, of course we will. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Dr. Omoshola Deji. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science. Do want to subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course I have great interesting videos coming your way. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.